Hi, it's Theresa Holistic Tarot here with cards for Capricorn. Let's clear the energy. So angel spirits, guys, can we please have some cards, please, for Capricorn? So what do Capricorns have to be aware of this month? What's their energy going to be? So cards for Capricorn, March 2022, please. Capricorn, March 2022, please. Thank you. Okay. First card up is victory. Oh, that's a good sign. Strategy. And deceit. Not so good. Right. So let me just point out that deceit can sometimes be with ourselves when we're deluding ourselves a little bit, or we're not facing a truth, we're not accepting something. So it can be it can be a process. Victory is self-explanatory. You're going to win at something. Let's see what the cards say. Strategy is saying to you, box clever, play the game. And when I'm seeing it side-by-side deceit, it's saying to you, be careful about who you're being open to. It's not saying you're not supposed to be telling lies, but you don't have to. You can keep your cards close to your chest, because this can mean that somebody's not showing you the full picture. It can actually mean that somebody is, say, they're telling you lies. I'm being kind when I say not seeing the full picture. They could be really, really duplicitous and out to do you down. Let's see what the tarot say. So angel spirits, guys, can we have some clarifiers, please, for Capricorn for March 2022, please. So cards for Capricorn, March 2022, please. Capricorn, March 2022, please. So the first card up under victory is star. That's nice. That's a sign of Aquarius, actually. You may have an Aquarius. 8 of wands is swords, sorry, and 7 of pentacles. King of swords. The sun, super card for your center there. Ooh, 2 of cups. Deceit, the hanged man. The 5 of wands. And the 5 of cups. Right, okay. Right, as usual, I'm going to start with the first card, move to the center, and then the 9th, because those hold more strategic positions. They have a little bit of influence over the other cards. Then I'm going to fill them in. We'll come to, we'll get the story, get the picture for you this month. So the star, that is the actual sign of Aquarius. So you may have an Aquarian around you that's going to support you to victory, that's going to help guide you. This is knowing that you're doing something right, and you're emotionally congruent, you're sound, so you are being guided. Now, even if I didn't see victory, I would be saying that you're being guided in your own right on your path. So this is a card about emotional fulfillment, so about just knowing that you're doing the right thing, and whatever that thing is, you're going to have victory. So you're going to win somewhere, which is quite interesting. And I'll come back to the others. The sun, love that card. The sun, it's your central theme here. So this is all about a new cycle, a new era coming in. It's a cycle where there's just growth and potential on a personal level and maybe a professional level. Because with strategy, it can become more professional, and it's about but even in a personal level, it can be know your own strengths and weaknesses, and when you're dealing with other people, then be aware of them, because I've got conflict here. But this is just a card of happy times coming in, family times coming in. So if you've been going through a period where it's been a little bit rocky with the family, then you need to know that there may be some peace coming in and some happier times, especially with children. It can sometimes indicate for some a pregnancy, because it's all about fertility, growth and development. So, but that won't be for everyone, I can assure you. And on the 9th card here, we've got quite a sad card, the 5 of Cups. This is a card of loss. it can often be a card of bereavement, grieving. And that's really quite important, because we go through life, we do lose people. And Spirit would be saying to you here, because it's the 9th card, it's quite an important energy, you not to let your hurt, your pain, your sorrow overlap into every other area of your life. This is a card to say that you need to find some gratitude in your life, because you have 2 full cups here standing up over, filled to the brim, and here the person is concentrating on the 3 spilled cups. So this is about looking back at the past, thinking of how it used to be, and we all do that to a degree. But at the same time, Spirit are saying you cannot stay in that energy. Now it's coming out under deceit. So what are you grieving about? Because this would be saying you need to relook at something. This would be saying you need to take off those rose-coloured specs of yours and get a pair of specs that are so clear and you can see through them. You can actually look at the past in a realistic and balanced way. Because this can be when you're grieving over that relationship that didn't work out. And I would be saying to you, no, let's get real here. Why didn't it work out? Write it down. Write down all those various points, but be honest, because there's and what part did you play in it? I've got to say that to you. I have to, because this is where the self-deceit can be. This can be where you're looking at the past and it's all somebody else's fault. It's all somebody else is doing, and there's no acknowledging about the part that we played. So if you're doing that, then be aware of it, because the Hanged Man here is saying you need to look at something from a completely different angle. Now, he's looking at the world in a really weird way. He's upside down, but he's actually quite comfortable, and he gets spiritual growth and development from this. So these cards would say, especially with the deceit, face something, look at something honestly, look at it realistically, look at it from different angles and examine your own part, and then move on. And in that examination and actually acknowledging what part you played, you'll get some spiritual enlightenment, you'll get growth, you'll get development, and that is actually just aiding in your whole moving into a new era. You're moving into a new era with that sense of emotional fulfillment, knowing, okay, maybe something wasn't perfect, maybe I didn't do as well as I could have, let me now put something right. But it's about personal ownership. And when you're moving into this sign, it's a much more enlightened sign. It's a much stronger sign of getting that sense of who you really are as a spiritual being. And you're going to get victory. So this may be a little bit of an uncomfortable process when you're being asked to look at yourself, but it really will come right. Because here we have the 8 of Swords. Now the 8 of Swords is that card of feeling restricted, feeling held back, feeling stuck. And maybe telling yourself, I can't get out of this, I've got to do it, I can't escape, I can't whatever. And this card is saying, no, you need to relook this. You need to look at this from a different angle, because you can perfectly get out of this, no problem. It's your thoughts. Swords often represent, they're about how we communicate, but also how we communicate with ourselves. So what are you telling yourself here? What are you telling yourself that can be holding you back? Because this is you keeping you stuck. This isn't life keeping you stuck. You're keeping yourself stuck. And with the 7 of Pentacles here, this can often be job related. It can be job related, but it can also be about life in general. It's that feeling of dissatisfaction. And oh, woe is me. Stuck in that. So woe is me. I can't change something. I can't get out of it. I'm stuck in it. I'm so miserable. I'm so unhappy. And it all feels a little bit grim. But it doesn't stay that way, thankfully, because your other cards are too good. But you need to be aware that you may have a tendency to slip into a negative mindset. And once the thoughts start, thoughts always come first. It's thoughts, feelings, behavior. So once the thoughts start about, I'm stuck. They take me for granted. I do everything around here. It's always down to me. You know, you need to really have a realistic look at things, because you're not stuck. You're telling yourself, you're giving yourself misinformation. That's why you need to get those rose-coloured specks off, or the dark-coloured specks off. You need to evaluate a situation as it is and own your part as well. Because this is when we can be buying into something. This is when we feel hard done to. This is when we feel we're taken for granted. We can't stop something. We've started it. We can't stop it. And the cards are saying, yes, you need to, you will win this, but you need to sit down, do a bit of personal digging, look at things from a different angle, get out of this emotional trap that you're in, because the other cards are fab. Now, strategy is also about following advice. And what advice am I giving you right now is to do a bit of digging. Finding the time. Don't keep putting it off. Find the time to sit down by yourself and quiet your brain. You don't have to go do meditation, but just find a quiet space, quiet time away from everybody and away from the kids and away from work. Because the King of Swords here is a very powerful card, but he's all about honesty. So you've got deceit, which can be self-deceit. Now he's saying, right, man up. Get honest with yourself. First and foremost, before you communicate to anybody else, you need to be honest with you. And also evaluate the situation. Because this is quite a CBT reading, by the way, I'm seeing here. I'm not going to go into CBT, but I'm actually feeling very much it's CBT, because I feel that somebody's keeping themselves stuck because somewhere along the line there's a payoff for them. Maybe they enjoy being a martyr. Maybe they enjoy the fact that they feel everybody needs them so much. So you need to really be honest with yourself about a situation. What are you gaining from it? What are you gaining from it? Always ask yourself that, because we keep ourselves stuck. We don't dig deep enough, and we keep ourselves in situations that don't serve us well. We get very dissatisfied. We start to think, woe is me. Everybody's taking me for granted. I'm sick of it, but I'm stuck. What can I do about it? And the cards are saying, no, you're not stuck. They're actually saying you're coming into a really strong period, a really good cycle of self-awareness, which will serve you very, very well indeed. Because there's new growth coming in. And it's going to, part of this is also about how you communicate with other people. So you need to be, first of all, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to sit down in regards to a situation and then say, am I really as stuck as I think I am? What am I getting out of it? Why am I telling myself this? What am I telling myself? And be honest, and then communicate with others. Okay, I've realised whatever. I'm not enjoying the situation, because this is all about boundaries. I need to put some boundaries in place. I need to protect myself. I need to look out for myself. And this, you taking this action may well cause a little bit of a row, because we have the Five of Wands here. So the Five of Wands is about conflict, but it's not serious conflict. It's not like the Five of Swords. It's words. It's like little kids playing like na 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 na, you know, that sort of stuff. So it can be somebody retaliating with you and being a little bit immature, and you need to rise above it and be the mature person with the morals, the dignity, and the clear vision of the King of Swords. Now, he uses that sword very wisely, but he is prepared to use it. But he never acts emotionally. He always does his risk assessment. He is honest with himself about how it's going to affect him. So a lot of self-analysis here, and looking at things from every different angle, including yours. But go a step further when you're looking at it from your angle. Really be real, really be honest. Don't delude yourself, and be practical. Now, we've got the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is a beautiful, beautiful card. And it's coming out with the Sun. So this is new potential. It's a relationship card in the main. So you've got all this stuff going on, but it means, so let me just briefly cut to the chase here. If you're not in a relationship, this would indicate that you have a relationship coming in, the beginning of a new relationship that can show commitment and really being aligned with somebody at many different levels. You know, you've got same sense of humor, same morals, same standards, same goals. So really a committed relationship. So that's if you're single. And if you're in a relationship already, you may have to do some self-assessment here, because it can show that you may be feeling taken for granted in the relationship. It may be showing that you feel trapped or stuck or held back. But it also can mean that the relationship now will move into a different era, a different cycle, if you really do the work on you as well, about assessing what's happening within a relationship. But it can, on a very general, loose way, mean that once you've cleared the air with somebody, once you've communicated and told them with respect and with kindly, and not lashing out, and told them, right, this isn't working for me. I've been trying to tell myself for ages that I can manage it, but actually I can't. And once you, and you've also assessed as well, from their point of view, what they might say back to you, then it's about communicating boundaries and a new way of moving on into that new cycle. And you will feel so good. You will feel so good that you've put these boundaries in place, and then the relationship can flourish with somebody. So you might find, so this is a general reading, and I'm trying to sort of keep it general, but you might find your relationship really improves with somebody this week. It can be a friend, a relation, a work colleague, but you need to examine that relationship and not just how you're viewing it. You know, like, oh, woe is me, they take me for granted, they expect me to do everything. You need to actually sit down and say, right, what part? Have I bent over backwards all this time and now they don't even know they're taking me for granted? Have I always been the one to go, oh, don't worry yourself, I'll stick the kettle on? You know, look at it from different angles, and then you'll see the truth of a situation. Right, let's have, you've had the toughest reading out the lot, I think, this month, Capricorn. So truth, but just hang on to the fact that you've got victory. That's a beautiful card. So it came out first. So you're going to win the day. You're going to win the battle. You're going to win the day. But it's all about getting real and honest with yourself to start with. And then you will be guided. You will have to communicate with somebody. But when you undertake that communication, which you may have put off for a while, and you may get a bit of argy-bargy back with it, but you will win. And then the relationship will move into a period of really flourishing and being genuine and respectful and considerate. So angel, spirits, guides, a card please for Capricorn. Intention. Lovely. So we've got we've got 2 2s, it's number 22. So this is about the consolidation of relationships, because a 2 is a relationship. And we've got 2 2s, which is then building it up into, so it can be connected with family. But intention is very much about being clear. So I wouldn't go as far to say intention is about being strategic, because that's about ticking boxes, knowing people's weaknesses and strengths, and really boxing clever. Intention is about getting clear about what is important to you and how you want something to be. So, for example, if you were manifesting, if you were doing law of attraction, the first thing you will do is set your intentions. And your intentions would be, for example, I want to have a really committed relationship. I want to feel happy. I want to have a child. I want to whatever. It's about setting your intentions. So how do things this month play out for you? You need to be clear, and that's very much represents the King of Swords energy as well, about being truthful and honest and open with yourself to begin with, understanding yourself about what it is you want to achieve. And once you get clear, you'll get victory, and you will be guided. So spirit are guiding you. Oops, days, I've got one. I managed to get a different card in there. I don't know how I managed that. Right. Excuse me. Angel, spirits, guides, a soul card, please, for Capricorn. Relationships, there we go. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. I absolutely hate that statement. It sounds so as if I'm only attracted to people that will serve me well. No, it doesn't actually mean that. It means being clever enough, intentional. When I say clever enough, I mean being smart enough to actually realise who drains your energy, who is not respectful to you, who do you not feel good when you're with, and then realising who you do feel good with, who feels comfortable when you're with them. So it's being aware of that aspect of relationships, and just thinking, all right, they're in my life, they've got to be in my life, but I'm going to try and spend as little time as possible because they really drain me, and spend more time with the people that make you laugh and you feel are a positive and helpful influence. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you, Capricorn, and I'll speak to you again. Bye for now.